Frohes Neues, Feliz Año, and Happy New Year to 2025. May this be the most bullish year we've ever seen in crypto. At least all signs are indicating that we are primed for a bullish year. I spent Christmas and New Year's with my family back in Germany for 2 weeks, got a little bit sick, so I'm also a little bit late to the new year with content, but nonetheless we're fully locked in now for the next couple of weeks and months, because I think there's going to be a lot that's happening. And if you've been like me, a little bit disconnected from crypto over the holidays, then it seems you haven't missed that much. Only in recent days we're seeing a lot of news picking up. AI agents right now seem to be the hottest narrative in crypto, and a lot of coins are moving up. Bitcoin, however, crawling back up to the 100K mark, 99,100 as I'm recording. Everything else is slightly up, slightly down. Nothing much is happening, pretty much sideways. If we look at the ETF flows over the holidays as well, we have seen massive outflows ever since December 19, and only now are starting to see inflows. So on Friday, we've seen $900 million in inflows on the Bitcoin spot ETF, which is a big number. And we're also now only 2.5 weeks away from Trump being inaugurated into office. So we'll see how much of an impact that will have. Also, the Ethereum spot ETF has seen some inflows. If we move over here, we can see 60 million on January 3rd. Now, I think pretty much every YouTuber, every content creator, every crypto person that's been around for at least 2 cycles is calling for very bullish 2025. One of many reasons being that now Bitcoin is on the political stage. Eric Trump, son of Donald Trump, saying 2 friends, 1 passion, which is Bitcoin, him pictured with Michael Saylor. This is just a few days ago. Then we're seeing Vivek, who is the co-chief at Doge, together with Elon Musk, and also part of the Trump administration, fresh off the press, launching a Bitcoin bond ETF with his company Strive. So they just filed with the SEC, and I think this is all putting the rails for a 2025 bull run. And we're literally just weeks away, I think, in my personal opinion, until we see huge inflows. Then we don't only have CZ back out of jail, back home, I think he's here in the UAE, but also he's calling for governments to basically establish strategic Bitcoin reserves, and that would actually print money to buy Bitcoin. One of the candidates who's probably going to do that is Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador. And he also just said that they will continue buying Bitcoin, possibly at an accelerated pace. I think right now they're buying 1 Bitcoin a day. So let's see if they're ramping up on that. On the other hand, we still have unresolved conflicts and war zones. We have a new leadership in Syria. We have tensions in the UK. Also in Germany, upcoming elections. In my country, Germany, we have elections coming in late February. And Elon Musk is going to jump on a Twitter Spaces with Alice Weidel, who is the chancellor candidate for the Alternative for Germany, the AfD. And I'm not a political person, obviously. This is a crypto channel. I don't know if you actually care about my opinions about all this and that party. I do have some opinions. I'm not really sharing them, but I think it's definitely an interesting conversation that is happening. And German media is going absolutely nuts over this conversation, but I'll just leave it there. Now, looking into the Cosmos ecosystem, which is what this channel is focused on, the Cosmos ecosystem, which is probably one of the most mid-curve ecosystems in all crypto. It's one of the most fundamental ones, technical ones, one of the most visionary ones at the same time. And the ecosystem just keeps growing and expanding. And I think there's a lot of coins and chains that a lot of people don't really think or know that they're actually Cosmos chains underneath. Looking at price movements, we're seeing nothing much happening. We do see some reliefs here and there. Injective INJ up 12%, Akash AKT up 10%, Osmosis 22%, but still below 60 cents. Anything below $1, in my opinion, for Osmo is like picking up money off the ground. Osmosis also about to launch Polaris this month, I think. So there should be a lot of things cooking on Osmosis. Everything else is going pretty much sideways. But not only do I think there's a lot of exciting opportunities in the liquid markets, but also in the upcoming launches. And Q1 is probably going to see a lot of big launches. And on this list, which is shared by Wu Blockchain, potential top TGE projects, token generation events happening in Q1 of 2025, we're actually seeing 5 Cosmos coins. The first one being Berachain, probably one of the most highly anticipated ones. Then Storage Protocol, Babylon, Particle Network, and also Lombard, who is the biggest, by far biggest LST on Babylon. So also kind of in that Bitcoin ecosystem bucket. Looking into Babylon more closely, we see David, the founder of Babylon, coming out saying that Babylon started 2024 with a team of 15. And at that time, we already covered Babylon for 2 years. We first covered them in late 2022. We couldn't afford to hire more people. Now is the beginning of 2025, and Babylon is a team of 40 plus people with $6 billion in TVL that accounts to around 85 or even 90% of the entire TVL on Bitcoin. Now, that is a big achievement. Congrats to David and the Babylon team. And I'm also proud to be part of their journey since 2022 and also an investor into Babylon since 2022. And I think Babylon is going to do really well. They also announced the first BSNs, Bitcoin secured networks, that are going to be tapping into Babylon security, because now the first hard part for Babylon is done, which is to prove that there's actually demand and that Bitcoiners are locking up BTC liquidity. And that means there's now Bitcoin supply waiting to secure other chains and networks on the other end. Now it's all about demonstrating that there's actually teams and projects and chains that want to receive Bitcoin security. Bob is one of the first ones. It's also one of the biggest Bitcoin projects there is, built on Bob. We also have BitLayer. We have also a lot of Cosmos chains, obviously Osmosis, the Cosmos Hub itself, which I think is all integrations that are going to happen. And but it's good to see that they're also integrating outside of the native Cosmos environment. So Bob is going to be one of the first Bitcoin secured networks. Hopefully there's going to be a whole rush on who wants to be Babylon secured, and also a sustainable revenue model for Bitcoin stakers. And if that whole thing works, which means one part being the technological aspect and security, another aspect being economics and incentives, the whole incentive scheme for all parties that are involved, for validators, finality providers, stakers, and also for the protocols themselves, then I think this is going to capture massive market shares, and Babylon can actually become a top 10 coin in 2025. I think the TGE and mainnet launch for Babylon itself is going to happen sometime early this year, maybe late Q1, early Q2. I'll definitely keep you posted here in real time when we're approaching mainnet launch. Then we also have Squid Protocol. You saw it also on Wu's list here. They raised $134 million from A16Z, Polychain, and many more. I'm not invested into Squid Protocol, but this one is the creative IP blockchain where not only companies, institutions, organizations, creators, but also AI can basically have their on-chain IP, intellectual property. And there's also rumors that all these AI agents are going to have their IP registered on Squid Protocol, which would be very interesting. So that's definitely an interesting use case for the AI economy, merging with intellectual property and Squid Protocol. Then Berachain, probably the biggest, most highly anticipated launches for 2025. They are in the final phases to launch Mainnet. I'm also an investor into Berachain, and I think Berachain is going to do really well. Remember that Bera has a 3 token model and also a novel proof of liquidity consensus algorithm. We did a lot of content here over the past 2.5, maybe even 3 years here on this channel, ever since the early days of Berachain, when they were still also considering to fork or build on FMOS or fork FMOS or the Ethermint framework, and then decided to build on their own EVM framework from scratch called Polaris, and now this evolved into something much bigger and much greater. But we're going to see how Berachain will perform when they launch. They currently have a big incentivized campaign going on called Boyko, which is taking pre-deposits for their vault, and those pre-deposits are approaching $1 billion. This is incentivized with, I think, 1.5% of the Bera supply, with 1 or 2 months of lockups or something like that. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong here. But this is going to do really well, I think. And the Bera airdrop is also one of the most highly anticipated ones, which means they kind of only have downsides, right? Because people will complain, and Smokey and the Bera team, they're already taking the air out of the FUD that is coming. I see them tweeting a lot about, fudding Bera themselves, saying like Bera is only going to disappoint and all those kind of things. But in my opinion, Bera is still going to do really well, and anything outside of the top 20, based on FDV at least, I think would be very weird. So Berachain, one to put in your watch list. Also Movement, which is one that already launched currently as an ERC20 token on Ethereum. They also have their mainnet lined up very soon. So Movement is coming up very shortly, and they also have a Twitter Spaces that was supposed to happen, I think, on Friday, but is postponed. This is together with Celestia and the Rollup. Big shout out to Andy and the team. They're really killing it with content and podcasts and interviews. And maybe this is the Spaces where they were going to announce an airdrop to tier stakers, sloth holders, maybe even Mammoth holders. Who knows? But I think we're still getting something from Movement, right? At least that's my hope. I don't personally have any official confirmation from the team, but I think it's all quite clear that something is going to come for the Celestia community, which could be either tier stakers or sloth holders. And same here, I'm an investor into Movement. I'm going to keep you posted in real time on what is happening. By the way, all my investments I'm going to also formalize. So I'm actually working on C2 Ventures that is going to be announced very soon. And that way also the whole investment side of things of the C2 operations, C2 Labs, is going to be formalized a lot clearer. Anyways, moving on, 2025 might be the year for Cosmos. I know I've been saying this forever. I think 2021 or 2022 was a bit of a year for Cosmos. 23, 24 was quite tough. And this year, however, could be a big renaissance, a big revival for Cosmos, not only because we have new leadership now, we have fresh new wind, but also because the technology is just proven over years to be the technology of choice for builders to develop their chains and applications, multi-billion dollar chains and applications, right? IBC continues to dominate when it comes to truly decentralized interoperability. But capturing the state of the Cosmos going into 2025, we're seeing over 100 zones, aka sovereign layer 1 blockchains that are live using the Cosmos SDK built on Cosmos. Some of the biggest ones include Sane Network, Celestia, of course, Axelar, Dydx that did a full migration from Ethereum to Cosmos, Neutron, Noble as well, which does not have a token yet. I'm also interested to see what Noble is going to do in 2025 when it comes to sourcing security, maybe even launching their own token. We'll see Dimension, also Korean when it comes to RWAs and connecting to the XRP ledger, and many more, right? So all verticals, all industries. Saga, also one of the biggest gaming and also now AI gems that is cooking in the ecosystem, that is also going to launch Lil very soon, the liquidity integration layer. So yeah, the state of Cosmos is very, very bullish, and I think 2025 is going to bring a lot more big launches for the ecosystem. Stride, which is the liquid staking leader in Cosmos and also an Atom secured chain, one of the first adopters for interchain security, coming out and saying Atom is pretty cool because it's a 2.7 billion fully circulating token. Everyone who wanted to sell has long since sold. And for the first time in 7 years, the ICF Interchain Foundation has explicitly committed to making Atom a key part of Cosmos. I think the ICF's treasury is actually a lot higher than 300 million, but that's probably what's kind of publicly recorded. And they recently acquired Squid Protocol, which is now renamed into Interchain Labs. And Mac and Barry are sitting at the steering wheel for Cosmos now, and they're very bullish on Atom, and are also going to shortly propose a full-on roadmap for Atom for 2025 and beyond to the Cosmos Hub community. Now, another chain and token that had a very, very volatile and extreme year in 2024 with a lot of hype, a lot of positivity kind of throughout the entire year, but then towards the end of the year got a lot of fat for proposing a change of their tokenomics in late 2024, which was a bit surprising, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, I'm also not a big fan of this kind of last minute change after everything was already set in stone. However, it is what it is. We have to take it the way it is. They proposed a change in the tokenomics which affects our airdrop distribution, not our airdrop allocations, very important, but our airdrop distribution. And the team proposed this and also pushed it through. Yes, the Matter chain is not yet decentralized at all when it comes to governance. So this was an easy pass because the foundation and core team, they just hold the majority of the supply and voting power in that sense. The good thing about this is that we finally have clarity and an exact date when we're receiving the airdrop, which is March 18th. On March 18th, we're getting 10% of our airdrop allocation, following by a 6-month cliff, which means September 18th, we're getting our monthly airdrop distributed until September of 2027. So a 2-year vesting after a 6-month cliff. However, 10% will be unlocked on March 18th, which means in 2.5 months from now. Obviously, we're all kind of told that we're going to get our airdrop in December and would only be vested for 1 year. So we'd already be 2 months in. That's not the case anymore. This is the new schedule. 10% airdrop unlock on March 18th, followed by a 6-month cliff, which means we're getting nothing for those 6 months. And then September 18th, for 2 years, we're getting monthly unlocks of 1/24 of the remaining 90% airdrop amount. One thing that I try my best to stay up to date on during the holidays are the Mammoths that launched with a bang. 0.75 TIA was the mint price, and this thing went absolutely crazy. Currently sitting at a 368 TIA floor. That's like a 400-500x for those that minted. And on the C2 Plus community, we also gave a full-on review and tutorial on how to claim, how to be prepared, how to get your funds onto Forma Chain, because after or when the mint started, it was pretty much impossible to bridge your funds over to Forma because it was just congested and really overloaded the chain. Personally, to be very honest with you, I think the artwork is a little bit underwhelming. I wish the artwork was a little bit more kind of creative, nicer, cuter, funnier. I think it's pretty basic, but yeah, it is what it is. So Mammoth definitely is also going to be one of the collections that is going to be essential for airdrops in 2025, especially around the modular ecosystem. We already got the first airdrop. In fact, I haven't even checked it on my own wallets, but EcoSort Fund, which is developed by the Stride team, an AI agent platform in Cosmos, they already airdropped 5% of the Tusk token to Mammoth holders. I think all you have to do to get your airdrop or to see your airdrop is to go on Echoes and connect the wallet that you have your Mammoth on, and then you should be able to see your Tusk allocation. Ismail Coffee, who is the co-founder and CTO at Celestia, also changed his profile pic to a Mammoth, saying that over 20 rollups launched on Celestia with bigger and faster blocks. We're just getting started. Looking forward to 2025. Celestia himself saying 2025 is going to be the year of the Mammoth. And if you look at the on-chain metrics for the Celestia ecosystem, you can see that Eclipse is the by far biggest rollup on Celestia. Eclipse deploys the Solana version machine as an Ethereum L2 using Celestia for data availability, and that one is also still ahead of its TGE and is also probably going to be a big one. Mysel also teasing Mammoth, Sloth, and BedKits. That's the tweet, indicating that they might also give out an airdrop. Then we have news from Thorchain, now natively integrated into Kepler, which is good to see, and also teasing a CB, Coinbase, Bitcoin, and native Bitcoin bridge on Thorchain, and more integrations, maybe even with Base. They also changed their logo now to blue and white from green and white, so we're going to see what that means. Dydx, also one of the biggest sleeping giants in my book at least, crossed $80 million in USDC deposits on Megavolt. Now it went down a little bit, currently at $71.6 million, with an estimated APR on Megavolt for 28%. It's been a little bit unprofitable in the recent days, ever since the year started pretty much, but overall it still is highly profitable if you deposit it here early on. We're also one of the top referrals with the Cito Zone and CryptoCito, ranked 4th right now with $4.6 million in referred volume for Dydx. So thanks everyone of you who is using the link to sign up. We actually have onboarded 36 traders to Dydx. We also did a full-on review and walkthrough to the Dydx exchange. So if you wonder how to use it, what are the benefits, how it all works, what is the fee structure, all these kind of things, then watch this tutorial. Dydx, potentially the best perp stacks for crypto in 2025. Now, I already said in the intro, AI agents right now are the big narrative, the main focus on crypto right now. And Echoes.fun is the AI agent platform in Cosmos that is launching 4 new Echoes in January. And all those will be representing a well-known Cosmos project. So we're going to see what they have been cooking. They also improved their wallet infrastructure and added Kepler wallet. You can also use Leap, Rabbi, Phantom, MetaMask, Coinbase wallet, and many more. So check that out. You can launch your own token. You can launch your own agent also. There's a waitlist, however, so you can't do it permissionlessly, but you can apply for it. And you can also buy existing tokens, right? There's currently, I think, 5 or 6 Echoes, Vito, Intern, the Ejective Intern, and now also Tusk being the biggest one, the Mammoth token. But they all only have 5 figures or 6 figures in market cap. So 50, 60, 80K market cap, or I think the biggest one is $250,000 in market cap. So pretty low and flying under the radar right now. And AI might just be the main narrative for 2025 because it also has so many sub-narratives basically. AI agents being one of them. Then you also have GPU, cloud, and the whole infrastructure that's underlying, right? Even storage, you can say. And it will eventually also merge with other verticals, right, such as privacy, for example, where, by the way, we also have a big launch coming in February. But Telecom teasing this event here, which is happening in person in Berlin. So if you're in Berlin, January 7th, so that's tomorrow, there's an event together with Fetch AI and Near Protocol. Check that out and visit this event if you are in Berlin. And the project that's going to merge AI and privacy is Nillion Network. We talked about it a lot here on the channel over the 2024. And you can already see by the reach this tweet generated that Nillion is highly anticipated. Also, Smokey is excited about it. Altcoin Sherpa, some validators that are also native to Cosmos. And eventually, this is also going to be a Cosmos chain. With Sexito, we're also an investor and validator with Nillion. So we're also very excited about Nillion. Now, finally, quick news. We have Strange Clan saying that they're doing a bonus airdrop. So if you've been staking your original Passage airdrop, then you're getting a bonus drop. All you got to do is continue staking until February 28. Also, they're teasing NFT staking that is coming soon for the Strange Clan community. I think Passage and Strange Clan is currently super dry, very low market cap coin and chain. But eventually, NFTs, Metaverse is going to have its run. So it still gives us time to scoop more Passage tokens. Finally, also, Ark Protocol, early access passport mint details. I'm personally not too deeply plugged into what that all is. It looks like an interchain kind of NFT launchpad, and they have an auction coming up, or a mint, basically, or even a free mint for certain communities, and apparently the first ever mint on the Cosmos Hub. So I'm not too deeply familiar with that project, but definitely something for you to check out. And lastly, if you want to bridge your Solana tokens or Sol token to the Cosmos and vice versa, then you can do that now on Squid router, which is using Axelar technology. And yeah, both Solana and Bitcoin are now live on Squid. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had a great time with friends and family over the holidays. You're fully recovered. You're bullish for 2025. I think it's going to be a good year. I'll see you soon here on Crypto C2. Until then, stay safe and be good.